So hello, welcome to my new video. This one I'm going to be talking about how to choose what kind of subjects you want to go into for A-levels, GCSEs, perhaps even university. Because I feel like in school sometimes they don't really talk about the wider range of options there are, and it can be quite hard choosing from like so many subjects to choose only like 10 or even 3 for A-level. So it's just going to be my tips, and yeah, just ending 2019 on a high note, you know, choosing how we're going to go into the new year and the future, the new decade. So yeah, hope this is useful. So to begin, I feel like with GCSEs, no one really talks about how the subjects you choose don't really matter, like, at all. With GCSEs, it's a lot less of a distractor as a roadblock as they make it out to be. So obviously you're going to take English literature, language, maths, science. So with science, I did triple science and ended up doing that for A-level, but I feel like even if you ended up doing double award science where you get like 2 grades connected, it's still, you're very capable to move on to doing A-levels in science further on in the line. So if you're in that situation, don't feel that it's stopping you from doing science in the future, because you'll be able to, and you'll do just as well as people in your class. So alongside with that, I really recommend doing more of a vocational subject. So for me, I did art, and to be honest, it was quite difficult. It really stretched me in different ways. I ended up getting one of my lowest grades in that, 7, though I was mark off, but who cares about that? Yeah, I really recommend doing a more practical subject because it just interacts, it just uses different kinds of parts of your brain, makes you a more well-rounded person. And I feel like in school it's quite good, like drama, to build confidence and things like that, maybe perhaps design or textiles, all kind of things that are just more creative, so that you have a balance in your personality. And even with medicine, it's like textiles is like sewing and things, so those kind of skills are useful for your whole life, as well as the 2 years that you'll be studying them. So I think I'll say what I chose. I ended up doing German, arts and RE as my choices. And yeah, I did geography instead of history, and I really enjoyed geography. It turned out to be my best subject, well, second best subject after English, but I really enjoyed that. And basically with GCSEs, I just say don't be bound to like the subjects you've done before, and don't be afraid to like step out of the box, perhaps try something new and something creative, like perhaps sociology if your school offers it, and things like that that are more niche. And for me, I feel like if I'd chosen perhaps like food tech or something like that that's really, really practical, I would have enjoyed that more and found it easier to do well in, compared to like German, which I really, really struggled with. And yeah, I kind of knew that as I chose it, I knew that it wasn't my best subject, but I still ended up taking it because all the teachers were like, oh yeah, it'll be fine, you know. And yeah, even though I found it really difficult, doing a language is definitely a great skill to have, and the skills it teaches you is top notch. You know, I can go to Germany, I'll be free, it'll be fantastic. So yeah, I really recommend doing languages as well. So to conclude with the GCSEs, definitely pick anything. It's really not an issue. You're not bound or restricted too significantly. If you want to do a subject at A-level, I definitely recommend that you do it at GCSE if it's available. But even if you haven't, it's definitely not an issue, like with economics and things like that. With economics, the people that have done it are slightly, you know, more skilled, but everyone else will catch up just as well. So definitely be free in your choices and think creatively what you enjoy learning, what will you really apply yourself to, so that you can get the best grades possible. I feel like it's, from my perspective as a year 13, with your results, no one cares which subject you got your like A stars in. So say someone got like 10 A stars with like computer science, physics and German, French, Russian, like that would be the same as someone who got A stars in food tech and textiles and art and graphic design and things like that. So really don't be bound to thinking, oh, maybe this subject won't look as good, because most of the time they only care about the number of grades that you got, not the specific subjects that each grade was in. So yeah, really with GCSEs I'd say have fun with your choices. So with A-levels, I'd say definitely look at what kind of university course you're interested in, and make sure that that's like the main reason that you're choosing your subjects. People say with A-levels that it's like you really need to love your subjects to do well, and I definitely agree with that. So in certain cases, if you know that a particular subject you'd really struggle in and wouldn't enjoy, but it's quite popular in the university course you're interested in, then maybe think twice about if you'd want to do that subject, because A-levels are just like on a different scale to GCSEs, and it's like it's quite a big problem. But yeah, so for me with like medicine, the typical combination is chemistry being the most important, biology, which many schools still accept people without, and then maths, which is not needed by like any of them except Oxbridge. So even if you're wanting to do medicine, you don't have to do maths, and maybe take that in mind, because like again with that kind of view, they don't really care what subjects you've got the A in, like your overall grades. So, well, perhaps in some cases they'll be like, oh yeah, an A star in chemistry, but most of the time they want like solid grades overall. So if you think, oh, I really love biology and chemistry, but I really don't like maths and I don't think I'd get like a really high grade, you can do other things like psychology, physics, and even English and things like that to get a high grade in, and then you'll be viewed equally as anyone else doing maths as their third A level. And for other courses, it's definitely more fluid. So I have friends who are doing sciences and they want to do like finance, which is more like humanities based, I suppose. So if you're doing subjects that might not seem to lead into a career, then definitely don't worry, because universities will accept that. They want well-rounded people who are interesting. So with A-levels, I just like to stress that you're going to be focusing so intensively on these subjects, and you really need to have a passion for them. You really need to love them, you know, so that you can put your absolute all into them, because any less and you'll fail. So definitely be aware of that. And so when choosing your courses in like year 11 and applying to schools and things, I definitely say if you're undecided, to do 4 subjects, or put down 4 subjects as your options. So then you'll have like the first week or so to try out all the subjects, and then drop one if you really dislike it, or carry them all on if you're really undecided on what you want to do. But yeah, for me, I kind of wish that I'd done like psychology or something like that as a 4th, and then kept it on until perhaps even mocks. Like loads of people kept on 4 subjects, like double maths as well. So if you have equal feelings towards the subject and you're not sure if to take it at the A level, I definitely say to try take it as a 4th subject, as it's a lot easier to drop a subject than it is to pick one up, and it's really enjoyable to stretch yourself in that way. Though it's definitely important to note that no university will give you an offer based on 4 A levels unless you're doing like maths with further maths, because that's like fair enough. But yeah, like if you know that you don't need a subject to university, it's perfectly okay to drop it, and you don't need to feel any stigma about that, because if anything, people think you're cleverer for doing 4 subjects. I just thought I'd add about apprenticeships, because I found out quite a lot more about them recently, and they're not really relevant to me because I want to do medicine, but I just thought I'd add for anyone out there, you know. With subjects like engineering and things like that, there's lots of other pathways into the career other than just a degree and having like thousands of pounds worth of debt. And I feel like apprenticeships are going to be like so big in the future, you know, because it's like you're getting the experience, and that's what employers care about the most these days. Like everyone's going to have a degree, like first 2-1, like that's standard at this point. But if you've got those years in a reputable firm, that's really going to make you stand out. And especially a few years into your career, having done an apprenticeship, it's like people would have forgotten about your degree and would be focusing on your rank in the company and things like that. If you want to do a subject that has apprenticeship, like finance as well, accounting, building, there's like really good things like that. Computer science, there's even degree apprenticeships which are a degree, but you're just sponsored by a company who pay you while you're getting a degree, which is equal to anyone else. So yeah, I feel like no one really talks about those, but they're a great option for your career and your future. And so finally, I'm going to say how to choose what kind of university course you're interested in. So I definitely say working experience is a great place to start, and it will just give you a real true insight of what that job is like. And yeah, it's really so invaluable to do working experience, and you can just get that by emailing consultants or just finding directories of emails online and then just emailing them or calling them, finding forms, perhaps trying to find through friends or teachers contacts and things like that. More generally, I'd recommend volunteering in aspects you're interested in. Like say you're interested in sport, you can volunteer with children, even get a job in a sport or swimming and things like that, so that you have some really interesting things to put in your personal statement by the time you're applying to university. And also with degrees as well, it's all very fluid. Like with law, for example, you can do any degree and then end up becoming a lawyer. Yeah, so with university, it's like you're kind of focusing really, really intently. It's like crazy on that subject. So especially if you have a passion for a subject, don't be afraid to do a more like soft subject or whatever, because it's like, say you want to be a writer, you don't have to do English, you can do like sociology and philosophy and things like that, and then you'll end up in the same places as people who've done different degrees. And even with investment banking, my friend is doing pharmacy, which is like, you know, medicine and all of that, and then she wants to go into banking, which is really interesting because they want like their workforce to be really well-rounded and have lots of different talents. Like everyone's degrees will bring out different aspects of them. So again, with the subjects you choose, you'll still be able to get where you want to be, and perhaps it will even be a good thing if you've done different subjects, because it will just be more interesting for the company and have a better range of views there. So thank you for watching this video. I hope it's helped you realise how, you know, there can be many different options into choices for your education and career. So yeah, I just hope that this has been useful. I'd just like to say thank you so much for supporting me this year, started this channel this year, 2019. And it's been really great. I've been getting some really nice messages recently and it's just been so touching, so thank you so much. I really appreciate all your comments and likes and sharing and all that. So yeah, have a happy new year, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.